Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I would love if you would subscribe before you leave. I make new videos every week on all things beauty and lifestyle. I recently got pregnant, so if you are a mom or planning to get pregnant, I will be making a lot of content on that as well. If you clicked on this video, then I'm assuming you're either just nosy, which I'm here with you, like I love being nosy and seeing what people are doing, or you're trying to get pregnant, you are pregnant, or you're a mom. In this video, I'm gonna be bringing you my first trimester update, as well as any kind of vlog clips I took along the way. We did try to vlog every ultrasound and just little things that happened. Spoiler alert, the first trimester was a little uneventful. So I'll be showing you all the vlog clips first, and then I will put my recap at the end. So if you want to see my first trimester update, then please keep on watching. Guys, first of all, my face looks crazy because I had a facial last night, but we are on our way to our first doctor appointment. We hadn't checked in since the day that he found out. Things were like a little crazy, and I feel like it's kind of been like in shock, and we've been waiting for this appointment to like confirm everything, because according to my app, I'll be 7 weeks Friday and it's Wednesday right now. So I think we're both like nervous, excited. I think he's excited. I'm nervous. I just want to know, like, give me the printout, tell me the baby's fine, tell me like what my due date is.
Father, in the name of Jesus.
So he'll be vlogging for me, hopefully in the room. Yeah, and we'll check in and fill you in afterwards. This has been his face like for 30 minutes and he can't function or drive.
Help.
Want to give them an update?
December 4th.
Here's the due date.
Sean Carter was born December 4th. Weighing in at
I'm 2 weeks behind what the app said. The app said I was due December 2nd. I'm due December 4th. This is the baby. It looks like a little wormy. Yeah, I go back in 3 weeks for a blood test, and then they tell you the gender at 10 weeks, which I think is insane.
Can't really move.
Okay. You're fine. Toodles. Hi.
What's up?
We're at our appointment for the blood test for the genetic testing and the gender. It's, what day is it? 18th? I think it's May 18th.
Yeah.
And I,
19.
oh, May 19th. And I'm 11 weeks. And today's Thursday, so Sunday I'll be 12 weeks. That went by so fast.
Yes,
From
it
week
did.
to 11 and 12.
Yes, it is.
We're at the mall in Orange County. We want to go to the Crate and Barrel Kids, which is where we're at now. Oh, I'm too loud. And Pottery Barn Kids. So we're trying to test out recliners because we're going to order them online. Okay. I'll show you guys the first one. This one, I think I like it a lot better because this reclines all the way back and this comes all the way out, and then it has buttons here. And then it's like, you know, by the buttons, it's electric is what I'm trying to say. Not the hand. Isn't it so comfortable, Ray? You see what I'm saying? Versus the other one? That one's super comfortable. And I don't mind this fabric. I don't know if this is a stock fabric. It's really nice, actually. I don't mind this color. It's like an off-white. It looks more yellow on camera, but it's definitely off-white, and I like it. Look at all of these. I can't wait. I'm gonna get the bedding from here, but obviously we don't know the gender as of today. And I also want this.
I don't like this one.
Okay, now that you guys have seen a few little clips of the first trimester, I just put random stuff in there. I have notes on my phone, so if you see me holding my phone, I'm sorry. I try to write down all my symptoms. I did write a lot more for the first trimester than I have in the second trimester, even though these last couple weeks have been kind of more eventful than the first trimester. I'm currently 20 weeks, so I'm a little late doing this video. I apologize, but I had to kind of like have a little rollout plan. I had to tell everybody in my life first, and then, you know, the video. It's just been kind of hectic in my life and for my husband and I. So I wrote down all my symptoms as they were happening. So if you haven't seen my announcement video, I did talk about how I found out I was pregnant and how I was tracking and planning to get pregnant, all that. So that will be up here linked for you if you haven't seen that. I'd recommend watching that first so you kind of know like my backstory. I felt like I forgot to say so many things I wanted to say in that video. I just didn't want to make it too long because I talked too much and my vlog clips in that video were already long enough. But something that was really funny that I wanted to tell you guys, the night before I found out I was pregnant, so obviously if you saw that video, you saw like the whole, how everything happened. And I told you about the dream with my mom. So that was the Friday night when I went to bed. The night before I found out I was pregnant, I literally never watched TV ever in life. And my husband was at work and I went to turn on the TV, and we have YouTube TV. So I went to go watch This Is Us. I had previously watched it, so it was kind of like in the middle of the show and it was on commercials. So I fast forward the commercials and it literally got stuck. I'll put the photo here. It got stuck on the clear blue pregnancy commercial and it said pregnant. And it was literally stuck, and I kept doing fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. It would not fast forward. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm pregnant. And the funniest thing is, when I bought the pregnancy test the next day, that was the brand I got, and it literally said pregnant, just like how the commercial did. I thought that was so crazy, and it just wasn't a coincidence, you know? And so I was just trying to ignore it, like, but I just basically knew I was pregnant at that point. Like, I was trying, and my cycle was already a day late Friday night, so I don't know, I just knew. But that was something that I forgot to tell you guys in that video. So you'll see there's another video telling my husband that I was pregnant. You'll see the story of like everything that happened that day, which is like basically leading off at the last video. When I left about an hour or so after finding out I was pregnant to go meet my husband, I left and I looked up, like I exited my parking garage and I looked up, and on the balcony were balloons and it said sweet baby girl. Like, I guess someone just had a baby, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, there was just so many weird things happening to me on those couple of days. I just was like, ugh. So let's talk about it from the beginning. So I have all my notes, like a lot of notes. Before we get started, I just want to say, but I'm by no means complaining. I know that I'm super blessed to be able to be pregnant, and these aren't me like complaining about all the symptoms I had or whatever. I'm just being super transparent, because if you're someone who wants to get pregnant and you kind of want to know what to expect, I want to be that person to share my experience. I know that every single person is different. I've heard so many different stories. I will say, I don't know if I'm just really lucky or what the deal is, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I feel like women make it seem so scary and like your life is over and all this and that. I don't know. Like, maybe I've just been blessed to not have the worst of the symptoms, or maybe I was just used to health ailments. You know, I've had like issues with my gut, my back, this, that, and the third, whatever. So I'm not complaining by any means. I know that I'm super lucky to be pregnant, and I'm also really lucky that I didn't have any major symptoms or anything crazy going on in the first trimester. Before I even found out I was pregnant, I will say that I was snacking like crazy, and I was super, super, super tired. Like, I'm talking like couldn't keep my eyes open by 1 p.m. tired. And I just was like snacking and not really eating meals, which is me in general. But I was like eating, I was talking about this in the last video. I had this like little like rice Chex Mix from Trader Joe's, and I literally had like dumped the whole bag on the couch because I didn't like 2 of the pieces. So I had like picked out all of them into a pile, but I was just like eating nonstop, munching like a little rat, just like anything I could find, munching, munching, munching. I don't know, that wasn't like a sign to me, because I'm always tired and I like snacking. But yeah, so that was something like prior to being pregnant. And then the day I found out, or like the day after, I was already out of breath. So I know that's a huge symptom as well. But so let's go through our symptoms. I broke it down by weeks. So if that's helpful for you, I will mention that to you. For my second trimester video, I don't know that I broke it down by weeks because it's been a little nuts. So when I found out, I was technically 4 weeks pregnant because they go based off of your last period, the first day of your last period. So I guess I was technically 4 weeks pregnant when I found out. So from weeks 4 to 5, extremely tired. I will say that was probably my worst symptom, besides one other thing, which I'll get to next. But the tiredness was the worst thing ever. Like, it's a different kind of tired. It almost felt like how you would imagine, like, when you're like drugged up. I don't know, like, I've never been drugged, but like, you know, if you were like that kind of tired, like uncontrollably tired, where you're not in control of your body. I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't like, oh, I stayed up 24 hours tired. It's a different kind of tired, okay? A different kind of tired. That was probably the worst symptom for me. I was dealing with like health issues before, where I just felt tired all the time just because of like my gut issues and stuff. I don't know if it was hormone issues as well, but the tiredness, yeah, that was the worst for me. Let's talk about second worst before I get into all these other ones, because they were kind of just like random and not as serious. The second worst thing for me, which I don't know, it was probably tied with the tiredness, was my depression. So I do struggle with depression and anxiety normally, but for some reason, the first trimester made the depression so much worse. And I hear that this is common. My doctor told me, yes, that's common, and it should let up in the second trimester. And if it's really bad for you, I believe there are certain safe medications. Me personally, I've never gone on an antidepressant. I don't know, I'm scared. Like, I don't want to do it, especially pregnant. I don't want to do it. So I'm talking like the worst depression I've ever experienced in my life. And something I feel like women don't talk about enough, that I was shocked to find out, was like how alone you feel when you're pregnant. Like, from the second you find out you're pregnant, no matter if you're married, if you're single, no matter your situation, it's just like, I just felt so alone. And then also I feel like it didn't help because we didn't tell anybody at first. Like, we were waiting because we wanted to tell everyone in person. So the fact of only me and my husband knowing and no one else knowing, and you know, he works a lot as well. This year has been so crazy for his career, which you don't even know, but we'll get into that in another video. But yeah, that the feeling of like being alone and kind of like no one understanding what you're going through, that was really bad. And yeah, the depression was really bad. Like, I'm talking like on the verge of the S word, and I don't take that lightly or say that lightly. And I don't want this to be like a triggering video, but yeah, it was honestly terrible. Like, I was in tears. I felt just so depressed. Like, never experienced depression like that in my life. I wish that that was talked about more, that that's a symptom, because I'm wondering if it was more extreme for me since I have dealt with depression before, or if someone that's never dealt with depression all of a sudden feels that during pregnancy, because that would be terrible for that to be your first time dealing with it. Then the third worst thing, which I'm still experiencing, are migraines. I do have a history of having migraines very often. I think they're called like cluster headaches. It was next level how bad it was. I'm still getting them, but I'm trying to kind of like get control over it. The doctor does tell you what's safe, but I just hate taking medication, especially while pregnant, but just in general, I hate it. So I have had to take a safe headache medicine, like a Tylenol, but like a certain one and a certain milligram. I have had to take it on 2 different occasions now. I have a very high pain tolerance, and I just don't want stuff like in my body. So I would have to like ice my head all day long. Sounds, the light, everything would affect me. So I'm trying to tell you like the top ones that were terrible for me, the worst ones. But like I said, like, I've dealt with migraines for years. I've dealt with depression for years. I've dealt with being tired for years. So it's like, it's just a little amplified being pregnant, you know what I'm saying? But it's not anything that I haven't dealt with. So I'm lucky in that aspect where I kind of know how to handle it. You just have to handle things a little different when you're pregnant. But as far as, you know, like medication and I guess how you go about things. The last thing that I want to say that was the worst thing before I read off just these like random things was my skin issues. So I have always struggled with skin issues. It's from hormones and my gut issues. I have leaky gut. So essentially there's little holes in my intestines, and then the toxins leak out of the intestines into your bloodstream, and then your blood is dirty. So then it pushes it out through your skin. The only time I was able to have clear skin was when I was taking birth control in combination with spironolactone. And that's another hormone that lowers your testosterone level, which in turn lowers your like oil production and oil glands. So even if I was on those two, it was the best my skin ever was, but that's not to say I had like perfect skin by any means. I still get like dark spots and like blotchiness and would still get bumps and stuff, but that's like the best I could get it. So I went off birth control in September to try to like cleanse my body. That's gonna be another video because I felt like a new person. Like, can we just get rid of birth control pills? I feel like it ruins women's bodies. It's just awful. And then the spironolactone I kept taking, so my skin was still normal, like how it normally was. Nothing bad, no breakouts. And then I went off in December because I wanted to start trying in January, and it takes 4 weeks to get the spironolactone out of your body. So my skin was fine. Then in March, which is like the month I got pregnant, it started getting worse and worse and worse. And then it was kind of just like regular bad skin. Then I will insert pictures to show you how bad my skin got. When I tell you in a 1 month time frame, I have never seen my skin that bad. It has taken until now, which we're in July right now, by the way. So I have been dealing with this since March, and it's increasingly, did I just make up a word? It has increasingly gotten worse. Every month, I have been going for facials once a week, spending all my money on facials. Dakota at VH Skin is a just lifesaver. Like, I love her so much. I'll link VH Skin for you guys. I've been getting my facials there for over 1.5 years now, and it's unreal. It's just so amazing, the system that they use and the way that they can like clear your skin. My skin now, you can see these little guys here and under here. This is nothing. Like, thankfully, right before my gender reveal, which was last week, it started to calm down. I said, oh, thank you. I'm talking, like, I have photos up so you can see what I'm talking about, but I'm talking face covered everywhere, big old gashes, scabs. I know I was probably picking two, but I'm talking down my neck, all back on the line of like the hairline, literally like where your hairline meets your neck, all big old bumps on my neck, chest, shoulders, entire back. I'm talking like a little Dalmatian, but the dots are red, and everything is so sensitive, like beat red. The worst. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, and I showed my doctor, I was like, look at my skin. And like, of course you have to wear like a double mask when you go to the doctor here in LA, at least. Had to wear a regular mask and then an N95. And I like pulled it down. I was like, look at my face. And he's like, oh, okay, it will calm down. Like the second trimester should get better. So I've been going for facials once a week. I've been so diligent with my skincare twice a day. And it looks like it's calming down. It seems like my shoulders are almost clear. My chest is finally clear. I just basically have them like under my jaw this week. And then like all these little ones. This is nothing compared to what it was. It is getting more clear. So I hope that the worst is in the past. I don't know. I'm still going to continue to get my facials regularly, obviously, and do my skincare. But I thought that you glow when you're pregnant. I thought you have clear, amazing skin. Like, so those were kind of like my top 4. I don't know. I can't put them in a particular order, but the tiredness might have been number 1. The depression, number 2. What was the other one I said? The headaches, and then the skin. But the skin, for me, I'm not vain by any means, but it made me so uncomfortable, so insecure, so upset. But the migraines may have been worse. I don't know. So we're just gonna say no particular order. Those were like the top 4. So these were the things I wrote down for weeks 4 to 5. This video is gonna be so long, and I'm really trying to make it short, so I'm so sorry. So extremely tired, body aches, headaches, stomach pain, little, number 3 situation. But I already had stomach issues, and that I dealt with before being pregnant. Let me tell you something. Never got morning sickness, never got nauseous, not one time, not once. And I read that some people can get number 3, I'm trying to be polite, you can get number 3 instead of throwing up. A little reverse action, I don't know. We're not gonna get TMI in this vid, but I did have it very frequently in the beginning of my pregnancy, but I didn't get morning sickness. So like I said, like I was already used to having that issue prior to being pregnant. It was a little amplified, but I would much rather go through that than being nauseous and throwing up. So I'm very lucky in that sense. In the beginning, oh, so these are week 4 and 5, like I said. So it was like a lot of weird random stuff in the beginning, and then it kind of like, either I just like ignored it because I didn't care, or it just kind of teetered off. I don't know. Really hot or chills, lots of peeing, but I do that on the regular because I drink a gallon of water a day. So it was just like a little more frequent, and then it actually stopped. And then I felt like the beginning of the second trimester, it increased again. I know we're not talking about second trimester, but just giving you a rundown. Heartburn and indigestion. I noticed you have to sit straight up when you eat, and you can't like lay down for a minute afterwards. Obviously very, very bloated. So like some days I would swell up and look like I already had like the bump, and then other days my stomach would be flat. So I didn't start showing until, let's see what week I was at. I didn't start showing until like about week 17 or 18. It was more bloating week 17, and then week 18 is like really when I started showing. Mind you, I just turned 20 weeks, so it's only been 2 weeks since I've been showing, but it was like 0 to 100. So anyways, I was dizzy. I was cramping off and on. It was light bleeding and spotting. They say, I guess when like is it the placenta? When it's like embedding in your uterus. I don't know the correct terminology. I'm sorry, I'm not a doctor, but they say you can get light spotting and bleeding. So I went through that. Out of breath a lot. That was from day 1. It's increasing now. I can't even bend over now. Obviously the chest area increased rapidly. Like I had a chest size of a double D before being pregnant, so you can only imagine my pain of the heaviness and the size happening. I literally had to go from a size medium in my sports bras to a size extra large, if that gives you any judgment. Hopefully it's just women watching this video. The circle situation expanded and darkened immediately. The other situation on there also changed to be very, like, it was like made of plastic. We're not gonna get into it, but that's what happened, okay? Pregnancy brain is a real thing. I never thought it was a thing, but I feel like besides being out of breath, like, I don't know, like I can't talk, I can't like form sentences. I just feel like drained, like please no one talk to me. I don't know. Then in the very beginning, so like the smallest part of my waist where I'm normally small, that went up 1.5 inches immediately. We'll talk about weight also in this vid, which is obviously an important topic to me. If you know me, you know my channel. I have like eating issues, weight issues, body dysmorphia, the whole bit. So we'll talk about weight. But as far as my waist, it got 1.5 inches bigger immediately. It later went down. And then now it's the same at 20 weeks that it was when I was, after like 2 weeks I had found out. So I guess I was 6 weeks pregnant. It's the same size now that it was when I was 6 weeks. So it was like I spread fast, and then as I ate healthy and worked out, it went back down. So it could have been bloating, but I noted in here, we'll get into the weight after this in that situation, but I noted in here, going from week 4 to 5 was harder than week 5 to 6. Weeks 5 to 6, tiredness not as bad. Swollen, sore boobs, not as bad. Week 6 to 7, not bad. Sleep was terrible. Vivid dreams, either hot AF or cold. I do remember that in the first trimester, my sleep was awful. I could not sleep. I was waking up so many times through the night. I was waking up super early. I did not like it. I love my sleep. After that section had passed, then I went to sleeping 10 to 12 hours a night. Right now, I feel like I'm in the 9-hour situation. Week 7 to 8, out of breath, really tired, sleeping more. Boobs hurt hella bad this week is what I wrote. Bloating hasn't been bad since week 4 or 5. Week 7, cannot wake up when my alarm goes off. Tired by 7 p.m. Afternoons are the worst for tiredness. After 1 p.m., I'm over life. Week 8, day 1, out of breath, so tired, literally crying, emotional, depressed, stomach issues, bloated, don't have energy to do anything, so oily, breaking out like crazy on lower face, chest, shoulders, and back. Lips were super dry week 8. Week 9, this was a crazy symptom by the way, as far as cravings, haven't craved anything, haven't been a psycho, just really wanting like fruit smoothies and like really cold things, but it's not necessarily like a craving for me. I haven't had cravings, but this was something crazy. Week 9, foods taste super salty. Like, I'm talking about if there was any salt in the food, it was amplified as if someone dumped half of the bottle of salt into the food. Like, I'm talking like I took a bite of something and wanted to throw up because it was so salty. I've never heard anyone talk about this before. But yeah, anything that had the smallest amount of salt just tasted just disgusting, like ocean water. I don't know, it was disgusting. Week 9, super tired, mild headaches, crazy vivid dreams since the beginning of pregnancy, not sleeping great since the beginning, sense of smell on 10,000, nesting mode since before I found out, but only have energy in the mornings. Once 2 or 3 p.m. comes, I can barely keep my eyes open, only wanting cold, refreshing foods. Same symptoms week 10 and 11 as week 9. No headaches except maybe 1 or 2. So mind you, like 1 or 2 headaches a week is great for me. I put can't sleep or sleeps long, major depression, anxiety, feeling alone, bloody nose when I blow my nose, which by the way, that's something that regularly happens because I live in LA. There's so much smog. I have sinus issues. I always get sinus headaches, and we have like humidifiers and air purifiers, doesn't help. But this was like increasingly bad. Tons of blood when I would blow my nose, bloating on and off, cramping a lot week 10. Okay, so that was the notes I wrote. So before we end the vid, so let's talk about weight and stuff. So as you know, like I mentioned, always had like, not always, but as an adult, body dysmorphia, emotional eating, like binge eating, not really binge eating, but like either not eating or eating too much to my standard, which my husband says is not a lot. It's probably the amount of a normal person, if not less. So anyways, just overall have issues with food, issues with my weight. And the funniest thing about body dysmorphia is like, I'll look at photos of me, even from April when I was like 8 weeks pregnant, and I'm like, wow, like what was I complaining about? My stomach looked flat. Like, why do I have all these issues? Lord knows. So anyways, as I mentioned in my first video, when I first found out I was pregnant, I was upset because I thought I had more time. I wanted to be like 25 pounds, 30 pounds less than I was. When I found out I was pregnant, I was 205 pounds, and that was kind of like my normal of like what I was sitting at the time, because my workouts weren't really consistent, and like I was still eating out and like eating healthy sometimes, but just snacking and just eating out in general. So the issue with eating out is, besides it being expensive, is like the stuff they're putting in the food, the salt content, the food allergies I have. So like if I'm having anything that has dairy, gluten, soy, corn, those kind of ingredients, which are in everything, I hold on to so much weight and inflammation, and I hold on to water weight in general. And then also it's like, you don't know how many calories are in it because they put so many like oils and stuff in it. So whatever, I was just like eating out all the time. I was 205 when I found out I was pregnant, and then I have it all tracked here actually. Essentially, I didn't gain any weight first trimester. The last time I weighed myself, which was end of June, and we're like second week of July right now, I was 2 pounds down from when I found out I was pregnant. In the beginning, I was like, oh, I'm eating super healthy, whatever. I had lost about, let's see what the lowest was. I lost like a pound, and this was just like, oh, I'm gonna eat healthy and start being active. I wasn't like intentionally trying to lose weight. I know that's so controversial when it comes to pregnancy, but here's the thing is that if you start with a higher BMI like me, I'm 5'9" by the way, and I hold my weight a lot differently, but still on the chart I was morbidly obese, whatever. So what I'm gonna do also is I'm gonna link this website for you. If you have a higher BMI like me, there's a website where you put in your starting weight when you're pregnant, and then you put how many weeks you are now, and it gives you a chart of each week, all 40 weeks of pregnancy, what your weight range should be. So like for example, first week it'd be like 205 to 205.5, and then it would say the weight range you should be gaining. It would so like 0.5 pounds to 1 pound first week. You get what I mean? So you type it in, it's a little calculator. So every week it tells me what my weight range should be. I've been really following that because I feel like it holds me accountable, because if your BMI is higher, you're at risk for so much more, like preeclampsia, just like a huge baby, diabetes, you know, the gestational diabetes, all kinds of stuff like that. So you really have to watch. If you're bigger, you really should only be gaining 11 to 20 pounds. But the thing is, everyone's body is so different. I strongly believe that your body is going to do what it needs. So just because I haven't gained weight, that just meant, hey, like I didn't need to gain any weight to grow a healthy baby. Like my body had enough weight on it where it's using that weight to grow the baby, if that makes any sense. I'm not a doctor, so it's not advice, but you get what I mean. I'm trying to find here, but basically I had lost like a pound or so in the beginning from eating healthy, working out. Then I went up a little, then I went back down. But basically in June, I started only eating at home, making all my meals, tracking it in MyFitnessPal. Not that I'm like, oh, I need to eat like and be restrictive. Like, no, I just want to see what I'm eating and like how much protein I'm getting, and just not go overboard, because in the first trimester, you don't need extra calories, especially if you have a higher BMI like me. So as far as working out, just walking has been working for me. I feel guilty that I can't do anything else, but I tried doing Pilates. It took me out. I slept for like 4 hours and I never take naps, but like the weights in the other situations are just, they weren't working for me. So I've just been walking an hour every morning, and that doesn't make me super tired. And the doctor also says walking can help with so many different symptoms to just stay active. So essentially just walking 1 hour and just tracking my meals and stuff and trying to stay at a healthy range. I didn't gain any weight. I was 2 pounds less than when I found out I was pregnant. I know it's inevitable that I'll probably gain weight because like I'm just now starting to show or whatever, but I am planning on just, you know, unless there's health issues happening, walking every day and just eating healthy, trying to eat protein, salads, smoothies, fruits, like all that kind of stuff. But I think that is all that I wanted to say for the first trimester. Overall, I feel like it was better than I thought based on how women make pregnancy seem. They just make it seem awful and horrible. I can't say like, oh, I enjoy being pregnant so much. Like, I'm not saying that, but like all the ailments and all the symptoms was like stuff I had dealt with, you know, before I was even pregnant. So nothing was really a shock to me. Yeah, I was just like, okay, whatever. Like kind of nonchalant about it. And then also the second trimester, well, we'll get into that in our second trimester vid, but it's obviously been a lot better for me headache wise, and the tiredness, like I had felt like immediately in the second trimester, the tiredness had like decreased. There's still like 2 days a week where I'll feel super, super tired, but the first trimester was the worst. So I know that I'm lucky and that a lot of other people have, you know, more symptoms. And like I said, everyone's different. So I'm just sharing my experience with you to tell you, like, this is what I went through and it could be different for you. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I have a lot more coming on the pregnancy series. So leave me a comment down below if you're pregnant or you're trying to get pregnant. I would love to interact with you. And that's just been my experience so far with my first trimester. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.